Can I invite everybody to take their seats, please? Thank you, everybody. Good morning, and welcome to the 5th annual meeting of the Global Business and Disability Network. We were all remarking that each year this room gets a little bit fuller, and it's very, very nice to see. Let me introduce, first of all, the podium. We have the ILO Director General, Ryder. Very happy to have you with us here this morning, sir. Anne-Sophie Béraud from Accor Hotels, who is the chair of the ILO Global Business and Disability Network, and Yves Voyer from IBM and vice chair of the network. This is a network with both global and national reach, and which is able to leverage the links between those two levels. And we see that very much in the program of both today and tomorrow. Today we have more than 80 participants, mostly network members, as well as guests from companies who we very much hope will join the network shortly. You're all very welcome. The program today includes sessions which aim at supporting the efforts we are all making to promote the employment of persons with disabilities. At the core of the network is learning from each other, and there is certainly a range of impressive initiatives that will be showcased today. This morning, there'll be a signing session of the Global Business and Disability Charter, showing the commitment at the highest level of the companies to the principles of disability inclusion. You are all encouraged to contribute to the social media coverage by using the 2 hashtags that should be on the screen somewhere. If they're not up there now, they'll be up shortly. Now, before we move to the signing session, let me invite the ILO Director General, Ryder, to provide some opening remarks. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Shauna. Let me, in my turn, welcome everybody to this 5th annual meeting of the Global Business and Disability Network. And as Shauna, you've remarked, each year the meeting gets a little bit bigger, and that's very, very encouraging. And as Sophie and I were just remarking, I think our annual meeting is becoming something of a fixed rendezvous in the calendar, and I think this also should be an encouragement to us in developing the work of the network. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's clear that in recent years we've witnessed significantly growing interest among private companies to harness the benefits of inclusion of persons with disability in their workforces. More and more companies in more and more countries are striving to become more inclusive and accessible, and these efforts result in enabling environments in which workers and employees with disabilities can realise their full potential. And at the same time, disability inclusion clearly yields concrete business benefits, and at the same time, it is a matter of human rights, equality and justice, social justice. So we have this very good alignment of the business case and the need to do the right thing. So this really is a situation in which everybody involved gains. I think that the combination of this type of argumentation is powerful, and I think it's already transforming the way people and societies are thinking about and the way they approach disability inclusion. Now, colleagues, in this context and throughout this last year, we have seen major developments and events which have recognised the importance of promoting the rights of persons with disabilities in society, and of course particularly in the labour market. Let me just recall that 3 months ago I was very pleased to represent the ILO at the Global Disability Summit in London, and I have to say I found it a remarkable event, and it led me to the clear conclusion that we are witness to a step change, I think, in everything that we're here to discuss today in Geneva. And I think that providing opportunities for companies to discuss and to exchange good practices on disability inclusion is a necessary and essential function of our network, and I hope that we progress with that at today's meeting. So in addition to the summit in London, I was more recently, in fact just last month, at the G20 Labour and Employment Ministerial, took place in Mendoza in Argentina. And there, and I think it was the first in the G20 arena, a communique was adopted which provides clear guidance to G20 countries on how to improve legislation and policies to include persons with disabilities in the labour market. And equally, the communique made clear that the future of work can create significant opportunities for the improvement of employment outcomes for persons with disabilities. So it seems to me we have the public policy debate and private initiative advancing in step, and that's a good thing. Providing equal work opportunities for persons with disabilities, I think, has also gained importance in the broader discussion about diversity and inclusion, as well as in the debate about business and human rights. And these are also positive developments, and I think we should welcome them. But at the same time, getting disability inclusion as a topic into these discussions is in itself not enough. The challenge, and I think our ambition, needs to be to make disability inclusion an integral part of these broader agenda. Discussions about diversity need to include disabilities. Discussions about business and human rights need to include persons with disabilities. And so for you, the people actually getting the job done at the level of the enterprise and nationally, you, the members of the ILO Global Business and Disability Network, I think we are sitting here with the key actors, people with roles in positively influencing these important discussions. I would go further and say driving those discussions, both globally and at the national level. And naturally, I'm always pleased to see new companies and new business and disability networks joining the global network, which has grown continuously over the years. Today, we are welcoming 5 companies: Atos, EDF, DXC Technology, MSD and Total, to the network. I understand that takes us from an original 11 to 27 companies in the network. As a Brit and a European, that number 27 makes me a little bit nervous, so I hope that next year we can go a bit further. And in that frame, let me also say that I'm pleased to see that national business and disability networks from Austria, from Chile, from China and from Germany have also joined our global network this year, and a very warm welcome to all of them. I hope you'll allow me to make a particular word of welcome in respect of the creation of the Chinese network, as this has been the result of very recent ILO work and the great support from many of the global companies that are members of the global network, and special thanks to Accor Hotels for chairing not only the global network this year, but also the China network. Colleagues, these examples and practices the members of the ILO Global Business and Disability Network offer are very valuable and can serve as inspiration and encouragement to others. The disability inclusive practices of the members of the network cut across very many business areas, and today's programme, I believe, reflects that and is particularly relevant in the manner it focuses on this occasion on global supply chains. Let me close by saying, and you probably know this, that the ILO is approaching its centenary, which is next year. And it's a good opportunity to reflect on what we have achieved over the last 100 years to include persons with disabilities in decent work. But at the same time, we have decided, properly I think, to focus our centenary on the future of work. And we are asking ourselves some very basic questions. Are we sufficiently addressing the opportunities and challenges that the future of work will bring? Well, I think that we can do more, and I think we can do better. And the members of the ILO Global Business and Disability Network are key allies in shaping the future of work that we want, so that it is fully inclusive of persons with disabilities. And so I want to close by thanking you for all being here today. I look forward to your contribution, and I look forward to seeing you again next year, our centenary year, when hopefully we'll need a bigger room to fit us all in. So welcome, good luck today.
Thank you, Director General. Unfortunately, the ILO does indeed have a bigger room, so we do have room to expand. Thank you. Now I'll invite you, sir, to lead the signing of the charter, please.
Okay.
Thank you. The Director General will now sign the charters for Atos, MSD, and Total, followed by a photo with the company representatives, and then the CEOs. The CEOs of these companies have already signed the charter. And then we'll follow with EDF, who signed the charter earlier this year with the ILO Director General. And thank you to Atos. Thank you very much, Neil Milliken from Atos. Now we invite Patricia, from MSD, Don Watson, please. Patricia, sorry, yep. Patricia from EDF. Patricia Mariage, merci bien. Thank you very much, Patricia Mariage, EDF. And now I'll invite Don Watson, Vice President, Global Workplace and Enterprise Services from Merck, Sharp and Dohme. Thank you to Merck, Sharp and Dohme. And finally, we invite Momar Nourier from Total to join us. Thank you very much. I'd now like to invite each of these companies, who will stay in their seats, to briefly address the meeting. We'll start with Neil Milliken, Chief Accessibility Officer from Atos.
Thank you very much. It's been my pleasure to help us join this organization. I'm hopeful that our membership will help us share best practice and also learn from others that are doing great things in this area. We're very pleased that we've taken our agenda forward this year, and we're looking forward to collaborating with other members to take the agenda forward still further in 2019. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Patricia Mariage, Head of the Department of Disabled Workers, EDF. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. We are very glad to join the network. Our company has been involved for years in welcoming disabled workers. I think we have about 5,000 disabled workers working in the group throughout the world. And for us, joining the group was quite, the ILO was quite a natural decision. We just hope that it will be a good opportunity for us to progress all around the company, learning from other companies and showing that throughout our group, we are very committed to progress in this field. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And now we move to Don Watson, Vice President, Global Workplace and Enterprise Services from Merck, Sharp and Dome.
Thank you very much. We are very proud to be here today and very honored to participate in this event. This has been a long journey for us. We continue to make strides globally in what we're doing with disability inclusion, and we look forward to this partnership as a way for us to learn and continuously improve. So we'd like to thank everyone for the invitation and the participation today. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And finally, Momar Nunger, who is member of COMEX and president of the Diversity Committee from Total. The floor is yours, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much on behalf of the Patrick Pouyanné, my CEO, and the COMEX. Very pleased to be here. Total is present in more than 100 countries, whereas in Europe, things are quite settled in terms of diversity. For us, this is an opportunity to extend our program to other countries across the globe. I think this is a major step in reinforcing our global policy of equal treatment and equal opportunities. Since we launched the initiative in April, we have more than 40 of our affiliates worldwide on 4 continents that are already signed to join the initiative. Therefore, it's a very important milestone for us. Thank you for making it possible.
Thank you very much. And please join me in congratulating these companies and for thanking them for their extraordinary commitment. Since last year, as the Director General mentioned, we now welcome 4 new national networks as well, from Austria, Chile, China, and Germany. And I'd like to give the floor briefly to each one of the representatives of these new networks. First, from the Austrian Disability Business Forum, let me invite Sebastian Brettel to say a few words.
Thank you for welcoming us in the global network. I'm from the Austrian Disability Business Forum, and I think what all our national networks have in common is that we encourage our members to exchange, to share best practices, and to learn from each other. Of course, we as a network learn from our members and they learn from us, but what we give to them is the opportunity, and we provide the platform for this exchange. And now we are very pleased that the ILO, with its Global Business and Disability Network, provides the platform for us as national networks to exchange on a global basis. And I think that's a very important step to take the inclusion on a higher level and to learn from each other in an international setting. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you very much. Next, we're joined by Rodrigo Carvalho, Director of the Red de Empresas Inclusivas of Chile. Thank you, sir.
Hello, good morning. It is a great pleasure for me to be here sharing with you this moment. I am really grateful for the invitation to present and start our formal entry into the Global Disability Network. I am Rodrigo Carvajal from Chile. I was born in Chile. I have a congenital physical disability, product of the thalidomida. a drug that in 60s did a lot of serious damage to thousands of people. My physical disability, very lightly fortunately, has not stopped me having a normal life. Still, this has not removed my concern and my surprise to the enormous discrimination towards people with disability that exists in the world. This is a great value that we support everyone in this world, treat each other well, support equality, be fair, and be inclusive and not discriminated. So I'm really glad to be here and join us being here in Switzerland, and really happy, really. Thank you very much. Okay.
And next we have Haibin Zhu from the China chapter of the Global Business and Disability Network, and he's somebody well known to the ILO, so please, sir.
It's my great honor to be here. I'm Haibin Zhu. I'm the founder of Easy Inclusion, now working as a secretary for GBDN China chapter. We just launched on the 31st of July this year, and now we welcome 16 companies now be the founding members. We have 11 multinational have operation in China, and 5 are local companies. And this is compared to the population in China for people with disability, we have 34 million people with disability in the working age in China. And the employment population is around 8,090,000 at this moment. And compared to the members, for all the 16 members, we have 122,000 staff in China, and they have around 1,500 people working in their companies. So compared to the whole population, it seems small, but these 16 companies are very committed. They are kind of they are the core of promoting diversity inclusion for people with disability in China. And we hope that that can be expanded and more people with disability in China can find employment in future. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Haibin. And I think 16 is probably just the beginning, so it's a good start. And finally, let me introduce Reinhard Wagner, board member of Unternehmensforum Germany.
Thank you. Unternehmensforum is an association of 29 private sector employers established in 2002 to promote the joint interests of businesses and people with disabilities in the labor market. The aim of Unternehmensforum is to develop effective strategies to enable all workers to fully participate in working life, including persons with disability. Founded as a platform for like-minded employers to exchange information and experiences, the main activity of Unternehmensforum is to collect and share information and examples of good practice. The members do so by exchanging experiences informally as well as through events such as workshops, training sessions for disability focal points of member enterprises, and annual general meetings. What are our achievements? Our main achievements are placing the topic of employment of persons with disabilities on the agenda of top-level management of participating enterprises. Participating in regional and federal level events to communicate results and experiences of Unternehmensforum to various audiences, including workshops on the implementation of the UN Convention of the Rights of Persons with Disabilities in Germany. And at least awarding of German Industry Inclusion Prize in order to recognize outstanding exemplary companies for the commitment to the successful integration of people with disability in business life. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And thanks so much to all of you, and welcome very much to the Global Business and Disability Network team. Thank you. Now I think it's time to celebrate with a photo. So could we ask one representative of each of the Global Business and Disability Network members, so from the wider network, to come up in front, and we'll take a group photo. Thank you.
Okay, so let's go on. Now we have the session with the best practice that we can share all together. So we know that the time is very short. We have 3 minutes. So we will be able to highlight all the different best practice that happen in the companies, in your companies. So what Stephen said is that the presentation needs to be pushy, straight to the point, 3 minutes each person. So what I recommend, we have about more than 20 presentations. So what we will do is that I think it's good to have you here so that everybody can hear what is the best practice. So we'll do by group of 3. I will ask the first 3 participants to come and to present. I have the timing, okay? So if it's okay, it wasn't forecast, but if it's okay for you, when 3 minutes is finished, I will do bing dong, and then no more possibility to, well, you can finish the sentence, but that's all. Is it okay? Oh, okay. Okay, so we'll start with Merck, Total, Australian Network and Disabilities. Can you come to the floor, please? Oui. Je peux me mettre. Ok. Mais je peux me mettre. Moi, je...
Non, non, vous êtes mieux là.
Let's go.
Yeah. Now, what are we going to talk about? We have an affiliate in South Africa that is Total South Africa. In 2015, we designed a program that focused on learnership for disadvantaged youth with disability. You know that in South Africa, one of the issues is employment of youth. So we wanted to have more visibility for people between the age of 18 and the age of 30. We wanted to and those people were coming from some very poor background with limited education. So we decided to partner with South African business schools, mainly WITS Business School, one of the leading business schools, not only in South Africa, but in the world, with Stellenbosch Business School, and with the GIPS, the University of Pretoria. Now, the advantage of this program is for the learners to have an opportunity to obtain a formal qualification, to build practical experience on the job training with companies willing to join the program and to train them. Opportunities, of course, to be employed by Total South Africa. That was very important. And, of course, we're supporting them in terms of living costs while they were attending that program to the tune of $400 per month. And for us, it was very important because that has created a resource pool for employment. Because diversity, one thing about diversity is that the more you employ diverse people, the more you increase the pool of competence you are getting. Therefore, for us, that was an advantage too. And of course, we managed to employ these people. This has really created some very interesting buy-in by our staff. Because one thing you want to do when you have this sort of program is to not only are you doing it for those people who are disabled, but you are doing it for the people who are in the company to make them proud of the company they are working for. Because one thing people are discussing today in terms of employment is what is in it for me? How do I contribute? You know, even for me, with a salesman, with a head of marketing, what comes is, okay, what are you bringing to me? And it's very important for us to bring something to our staff in general. And one thing is to make our staff proud of what the company is doing. So this contract, not on me. So I mean, really, I encourage company to do initiative like this with the learner, universities, and people.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Maybe the Australian Network on Disability? Thank you.
So hi, my name's Sam Dancy and I'm from the Australian Network on Disability and I'm going to talk about our A&D membership engagement model, so how we work with our members. A&D's mission is to create a disability confident Australia, and we believe the best way to do that is through employers. When a new member joins A&D, we have an engagement model or a journey that we guide them through. So we recommend the foundation stones to our member organisations. So we place focus on looking at recruitment, so removing any unintended barriers to recruitment practices, and also looking at workplace adjustments. So is there a robust workplace adjustments policy or procedure in place within our new member organisation? We also enable our members to self-assess their own maturity by using our Access and Inclusion Index tool. Then, typically, they might progress on to participate in some of our programs, so our internship program or our mentoring program for skilled and talented people with disability. Recently, we asked our members for some feedback, and one of the things that we learned through that feedback process was that it was hard for our members to understand what we do and what they can tap into. So we decided that we needed to make it easier for our members to understand what we do. So we created a framework to help with that. And our framework is built around build, connect, check. So we build organisational capability, we connect you with skilled and talented people with disability, and we connect you with each other. And we check. We can help you to check and to understand and know that what you're doing is working. We've also learned that there are two ways for our members to connect with A&D. So some of our members do join because they do need, they would like us to help guide them in terms of building their capability. But for others, they do join A&D to participate in our programs and to connect with people. Our members can take two different journeys, but they also have many, many reasons for joining A&D. We've also learnt that it's important to connect our members with each other, and as we've heard earlier on, to get them together, so to connect our members with each other, and also for A&D to learn from our members too. We do have 3 levels of membership at A&D, so gold, silver, bronze, and we retain our gold and silver members. So to date, we have nearly 240 members of A&D, split evenly across public and private sector organisations. The impact of our model is that our members do stay on the journey, and they invest to do so. We've also seen an influence from businesses, so from our members, with their suppliers and partners, so influencing their partners to either provide accessible products and services or to demonstrate their own inclusion of people with disability. Our members are taking a whole-of-business approach, as we heard earlier on, and moving beyond HR. So as we know, the inclusion of people with disability is impacted across the whole of business, and this approach aligns with the Access and Inclusion Index self-assessment tool that they have access to. Thank you.
Thank you.
I had to return. I'm not convinced.
So I'm Don Watson from MSD. I'm also the executive sponsor of our Capability Network, which has 17 global chapters, as well as a member of our Disability Inclusion Strategy Council. Our council is a cross-functional leadership team that has an objective of eliminating barriers and building disability-confident workforce. We do this through our business culture, our accommodation procedures and universal workplace design, how we look at talent, what we do with our communication technology and accessibility to information, and how we work with our supply chain partners, as well as building our external reputation. We've really focused in on a lot of different things from an impact perspective. A couple of the things are, we're a member of the $1 Billion Supply Chain Roundtable, which is focused in on diverse suppliers globally, but we also include disability-owned businesses in this. Our partnerships with non-government organizations have allowed us to foster economic inclusion and also provide access to opportunities. From a talent perspective, we look at direct, indirect, and also what our supply chain partners are doing in terms of how they're building talent. In Japan, we have a group of emotionally and physically disabled employees who operate across our entire headquarters operation, interacting with all levels of leadership. From a best practices perspective, we've really learned the importance of leadership from top down, as demonstrated by our signing of today's charter, as well as from down to top, as demonstrated by our 17 global capability chapters. We've also learned the importance of focusing internally before going externally. When we started this journey, we did a full assessment of all of our policies, procedures, and practices to understand where our gaps were and to make improvements. Communication and branding have been very important to us. We continue to work with our employees on a day in the life for them to tell their story, as well as looking at our internal and external branding to ensure that it is inclusive of everyone. Partnerships allow us to continuously improve and learn, and change management is critical to what we are doing. Without good change management, this is just a corporate initiative. We aim to make it a way of life. Thank you. Yes, I didn't get gavelled.
So now we can welcome Disabled People Organization, Denmark, Telenor, Chilean Business and Disabled Network. And I have to remind you that you have the possibility to give your comments on the relevance of the best practice, so you can do it. Stephen, you okay? Yeah, great. No, come. Yeah. Yes, come, of course. So too happy.
Thank you. Yes, talking from a different perspective here, we are the Disabled People's Organizations in Denmark, representing persons with disabilities in Denmark. We also work internationally, so in supporting disability movements, particularly in the Global South. So what I'm talking about here today is our work with disability movements in Uganda and Ghana, where an initial step that we've taken, and which is only one out of other steps as well, to work towards raising awareness of disability inclusion within private sector in those two countries. I want to highlight here today the importance of starting out reaching the employers' networks and associations, since what we found through our work with the disability organizations in Ghana and Uganda is that there are organizations here and there who are considering disability inclusion within their companies, but there are no forum where this is shared. And we've talked with a lot of organizations who have, or companies who have expressed the intention and the goodwill, but who hasn't really given it much thought before we meet with them. And therefore we find that it's crucial to raise the awareness and have a forum where companies can share these experiences in terms of advancing this, so that it's something that is on the agenda in a longer term across companies. So as I said, we actually experience that getting in touch with employers' associations, this is a thematic area that they in the two countries hadn't really considered, but were interested in. So the first step is, of course, to identify those companies who actually do have the practices already. And then within the employers' associations to raise the issue and bringing other companies on board. And as I said, this is just initial steps, but actually steps that hadn't been taken. So we, in the two countries, we facilitated that the Employers Association participated in a GBDN event in South Africa, where Total was also present, and they actually gained a lot of experience from that and ended up inviting a representative from Total back to both Ghana and Uganda to share their experiences. So the learning was that this is actually a slow process, and since we're working through the disability organizations themselves, this is a new way of partnership that is also advancing from this.
Thank you. Yes. If you want to go on, yes, your turn.
Yeah. Got 3 minutes? No. Hello, I'm Rodrigo from Chilean Disability Network. In Chile, our main objectives are incentivize labor inclusion, generate tools supporting instruments, training and other related to labor inclusion, be a communicated venture between companies and related institutions involved with disability matters, know the needs of the companies and be a bridge among the institutions that take care of their training as for those that facilitate the labor placement. What I think is an important practice to hire people with disability in companies is it's not enough for companies to have good intentions. It's not enough because if the highest management doesn't know about this, the process could fail. Okay, why? Because sometimes, in some cases, you need to invest. Okay, so if the high management doesn't know about this, they say, okay, I like to hire people with disability, but I don't have the money to spend, so I need to pay for the accessibility or specific technology, okay? So we found out in Chile the importance of an effective, positive, and useful labor intermediation in the recruitment process of persons with disabilities. And the objective of that is helping to generate an inclusive work environment, which is very important. It's very, very important that my future friend that I will be working with him just beside me, I know that tomorrow I'll be working with a person with disability. If I don't know that, I don't know how to treat him. I don't know how to express to him. I don't know how to speak with him. Especially if it's a person with disability, like a deaf or a blind, I don't know how to treat them. So if the workers at that company doesn't know before that this company is becoming an inclusive company, all this process could come failed and doesn't work at all. We found it very important to give that support to those companies that want to become an inclusive companies, so they can be ready for this new journey, right, as a way to say, to become an inclusive companies. It is very important to prepare workers and collaborators for a new work environment. The environment is very, very, very important. Of course, review the accessibility aspects, right, and correctly analyze job descriptions according to types of disability and charge functions. Okay? The impact, of course, there are very good impacts, right? When you do things in the correct way, the impacts are very, very, very important. Okay, 3 minutes. It's okay then.
You can do it.
One more?
One more.
One more, okay. No, just the impact, how important the impacts are. because at our network we can share those impacts, good impacts, okay? So we'll find out the real important, the importance of an effective labor intermediation in the agreement process, okay? That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So Telenor is not there, but I think we have a video on their best practice. So if you want to put the video, thank you.
Access to basic human rights is the true manifestation of empowering societies. Open Mind Pakistan is our journey to raise awareness, enable access and promote inclusion. It was introduced to integrate persons with disabilities into the mainstream through advocacy by providing trainings and assistive technology. Launched in collaboration with Special Talent Exchange Program and Directorate General of Special Education, Government of Pakistan in 2013.
Open Mind is an ideal example of shared value, which means it's a win-win-win paradigm for all the stakeholders. It's a win for the people with disabilities by integrating them in a top-notch corporate environment, defying the stereotypes and making them self-reliant. It's a win for the employees who can tap valuable, untapped human resource, which can be a great source of inspiration and motivation for the rest of the workforce, and also an example for others to replicate. And it's a win for the society, most importantly, because you're mainstreaming a huge marginalized segment of the society and making them productive and contributing members of the society. And also it leads to voluntary compliance of international charters and conventions and local laws.
Open Mind aims and trains to develop persons with disabilities and delivers this with accessible building, inclusive advertisement and career page, specialized interviews and disability orientations to prospective managers. Keeping in view the unique needs of persons with disabilities, a batch of 16 candidates, 2 candidates per division, are selected to undertake a 3-month comprehensive training module, which includes IT skills, project management, corporate communication, independent living, and on-job coaching. The training is competitive and candidates are assessed and evaluated throughout the training. 1 candidate per division is further awarded a 1-year regular contract at the respective divisions. Others are referred to Open Mind Network as top talent. The program aims to overcome physical and attitudinal barriers that people with disabilities have to face in their daily lives. Diversity and inclusion are key elements of our culture.
Thank you. So I call to present the best practice Repsol, Austrian Disability Business Forum, Light for the World. You want to start? Yes.
Hi. Hello, everyone. My name is Pilar Rojas. I'm responsible for corporate culture at Repsol, and I'm also the coordinator of the Global Diversity Council in our company. Repsol is an energy company. We have more than 24,000 employees in 37 countries, and our program, Adding Energy, was designed to provide socially responsible solutions to our retail business, as well as providing employability for persons with disabilities without any formal training. Our retail business is very seasonal. They need a quick access to the talent market to fill their vacancies. So in partnerships with NGOs and local foundations, we designed this program that combines formal training in topics like safety and health at the workplace, things like client orientation, food handling, etc. And it also combines with on-the-job training through internships. That way, the business has quick access to candidates, well-trained, and who know how to perform the minute they join the company. The key to the success of this program was, in the first place, the anticipation, knowing in advance what the needs of the business are going to be throughout the year, help us to provide the talent acquisition that they need right on time. And also the partnerships with the different NGOs and local foundations that helped us to understand the talent market of the persons with disabilities. They help us to accommodate and make our talent management processes accessible for persons with disabilities. And we have so far provided our business and candidates with more than 1,200 people available for the market. The rate of employment in our company was higher than 50%, and the rest of them are certainly in a better position to find a job elsewhere. So this program has been a success within our company so far, so much that is being extended to other businesses and other countries. Thank you.
Many thanks. Thank you. You want to pursue?
Hello, my name is Sebastian Brettel. I'm the coordinator of the Disability Business Forum in Austria. And I want to introduce to you our latest innovation in our network, the so-called MyAbility launch. I'm going to briefly explain how the journey was that we come to the point to launch this new event series in our network. We always had the challenge in our network how to address people, how to address business people, and how to address the different levels in a company hierarchy. Because it makes a difference if you talk on a C-level, if you talk to a recruiter, or if you talk to an HR person and CSR person. And therefore, at the beginning of 2018, we worked together with a professional network analyst. And his analysis elaborates that our main asset in our network was the very good relation on the Austrian CEOs. So therefore, we established a new event series exclusively for a C-level. So now we have the so-called MyAbility launch, where 3 times a year we invite our network on a C-level basis to exchange and share best practices. 2 main benefits come along with this new approach. The first one is the more obvious one. We got a stronger commitment to our network, and our forum is now well known in the Austrian business community and especially at Austrian boards. But the second thing that comes along, which we didn't expect in that high degree, was that we attract a lot of new companies, because by doing this events, they got attracted that a CEO, for example, of the largest Austrian bank talk about inclusion, talk about accessibility, and how it's important to the economic environment, to the culture in our economy, and overall to our society. And so it turned out to be a very good tool to have this C-level commitment and also to go out of this network to attract new members and to attract new companies to think about inclusion, to think about diversity and all the benefits that come along with it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, good morning, everybody. My name is Anneke Maarsen. I'm Disability Inclusion Advisor with Light for the World, based in Uganda. I wanted to share with you about an initiative that we started in May. We launched it in May this year. It's called Make 12.4% Work. 12.4% is the percentage of the population of Uganda that has some kind of functional limitation. Why did we brand the initiative like this? Because we want people to ask us, what is Make 12.4% about? And it works. People come to us and they ask, and they are triggered. So what do we want to reach with this initiative? Uganda, it's a very popular country. There are so many businesses started up there. There are so many development organizations there. At the same time, there's a huge rate of youth unemployment. What we actually want is to create momentum around disability inclusion and around inclusive employment. So how do we do that? We pay attention to 4 elements. So one element is that we invest in communication. We try to profile and to make visible all kinds of good things that are happening around inclusion. So we present persons with disabilities working in different companies, being able and being there. So we present it as a business case. We present it as inclusion works. At the same time, we also build capacity. So how do we do that? We're actually building a pool of disability inclusion facilitators. They are young people. They are young people with different types of impairments, and we train them to go out to companies, to go out to organizations, and actually talk about inclusion. And not only that, they also show and provide training and coaching on the how of disability inclusion. Because what we noticed is that commitment is there these days. You know, it's not that we have to advocate so much. There are many companies that are interested to hire persons with disabilities. But for example, we talked to Total in Uganda. They said we are committed, but then persons with disabilities are not applying. So what do? Yeah, so we provide coaching and support. And we don't only work with the companies, we also work with the job seekers with disabilities. So our disability inclusion facilitators also work with job seekers. And they are role models themselves. They are talented and they are able. So they also build the self-esteem and confidence of persons with disabilities to actually go for those jobs. Another thing that we try to do is to work more on innovation. In the livelihood sector, there's so many interesting initiatives going on around technology. So make those initiatives inclusive and we can reach scale. So that's what we try to do. We started off with 6 ambassadors, being respectful companies in Uganda, and we have created that pull factor. At this moment, there are 30 companies being members of our platform, and in 2 years' time, we hope to reach like 124 companies and organizations. That's who we are. So please look us up on our website, wecanwork.ug. If you have your branches, your offices in Uganda, please approach us, and our disability inclusion facilitators can work with those companies in Uganda. Thank you.
So now we are welcome Savola Group, Employers Network on Disability, Sri Lanka, and ADECO Group. Don't worry about the other one. Maybe. C'est qui? You are Savola Group? Sri Lanka, okay. Savola Group? Yeah. You are sleeping. Wake up. Sorry, my pronunciation is not correct. Okay. Maybe Employers Network on Disability? Do you want to start for 3 minutes? The floor is yours.
You have a mic that is just here. Here you have a mic and you can speak.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Manik, and I'm from the Employers Network on Disability from Sri Lanka. The best practice we had was from darkness to light. According to the GBDN, we are following the principle number 3, which there are reasonable accommodation, internship opportunities, trainings for people with disabilities. The objectives we had was barrier-free environment and inclusive workplace, where we conduct trainings for the companies, how to disability etiquettes, accessibility, access audits, to make an inclusive, and materials in accessible format to make an inclusive workplace. And also training people with disabilities on job seeking skills and job keeping skills. Both are equally important because we give on the job trainings and internship opportunities. And also we have C inclusion, see the gaps, the CSEE for support, educate and employ. We adopt the concept on place, train and support, which has been very successful in Sri Lanka. And the impact that we had for people with disabilities, capacity building of people with disabilities, starting from skills developing, training, and developing financial capacity, which is very important, and developing the financial capacity of families as well. And diversity and inclusion. This has been, we are promoting diversity and inclusion. Most of the companies are now adopting diversity and inclusion in Sri Lanka, and next week we'll be having the largest HR forum in Sri Lanka, and I'm presenting there as well for diversity and inclusion. And also change from charity-based model to right-based model to make the right real. Sri Lanka being a South Asian country, due to cultural barriers and overprotection by the families, we still have majority we have the charity-based model. Now, the special impact that we have is now we are able to change from charity-based model to right-based model. The lessons learned, it's very important to do the proper job match. Otherwise, the companies as well as people with disabilities will be frustrated because they don't get the proper job. And also sensitizing the employers, which is very, very important on various aspects on disability. And we have realized that in developing not only the educational level, paper qualification, we have to improve their other skills such as soft skills and various skills needed to do a proper job. There are people without jobs and jobs without people. So we have to bridge this gap. The success behind the Employers Network on Disability Sri Lanka, we always say nothing about us without us. So starting from me, we have included people with disabilities, because to speak on disability, people with disabilities should be included. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Savola Group?
Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is Tariq Ismail. I'm basically the Executive Director and Board General Secretary of the Savola Group from Saudi Arabia. Basically, our objective, once we signed the agreements in 2 years, was the commitment of the international standards to make sure that we have all the facilities around all of our facilities in 35 countries, to make sure that all of our facilities are up to the standards that basically we signed the agreement for, and what's the aim of the company we want to be in. Basically, one of the very important elements that we want to look for is promoting the equal of the opportunities we have within the organization. The impact of that was basically a high attraction of people with disabilities, job seekers, and high retention and low turnover rate, high productivity and attractions of the jobs within the market. And basically that with the GBDN, which is rule number 4. Lesson learned from that, basically number 1 is having the right infrastructure. Before we start the facilities, we have facilities on 35 countries, so we have to make sure it's part of the DNA and the design of the facilities before we start with the design. So it's part of the engineering team to have any new facilities and renovations of the old facilities as well. The cost will be more cost saving in terms of implementing that from the beginning, not renovate. Of course, it's we have to do the emergency exits and everything to make sure they have a contingency plan of the employees with disability to have them the right infrastructure. And based on that, we have the right infrastructure today in the company and the facilities, and we make sure that the next level of entertainment within the group. If we can't go for another slide, because I have another slides. No, there is another one. No other slides? Okay. So basically what we have today, I have some of the photos that we got throughout the facilities before and after. The very important point, we have that part of the KPIs of the total 31,000 employees plus. And today I'm very proud to say that we have 1,021 employees, disabled employees within the organization. We have signed more than 52 agreements between our company with the government, semi-government, and private sector to support our causes. And the most important part is it's a part of the KPIs of all the employees, and it's a part of the DNA of the company today. Thank you.
All right. Hello. Bonjour, everybody. Nice to see you again for some of you, and nice meeting the other ones. Happy to be back in that room. Today I'm here to share a practice of ours that comes from France for a change. So you will forgive my little accent. I'm being a bit French today, and I'm promoting experiences that have been led by my colleagues from one of our tiny subsidiaries, one of our latest brands in France. It's called Humando Pluriel. And within the Adecco group, in the Adecco family, it's quite a lab company that we have with Humando Pluriel, which is dealing with promoting inclusion at large. We'll do that with all our operations, but with Humando Pluriel, we are able to create and design things that are really out of the box. All of you are familiar to something that comes every month in your mailbox or in your mails. It's your payslip. In France, we have problems recruiting payroll officers, and one of our clients, since you know that the Adecco Group is an intermediary on the labor market, we are doing mostly recruitment for our clients. One of our clients is a large payroll company that operates for many companies like yours. And they have really shortages in terms of skills for payroll officers. So we took the opportunity of that, drawback of this industry to promote employment of people with disabilities and create the competencies linked to the payroll officer function for our clients. Basically, what happened is we identified people from various professional environments that were looking for a position and had, well, let's say a gap to cross to be able to become a payroll officer after training. So we designed together with a training company a full package of training for this payroll officer position, and we managed to have an out-of-the-box recruitment process for our client, where we took the advantage of having no CV, promoting the people and their, let's say, their behavior skills, their potential, rather than what is written on the CV on a usual manner. We've been doing that for the last 5 years now with this client, and we designed promotions of payroll officers with this training. We basically lead a phone interview with the candidates, and I'm late. But it works, and try it. It's recruit without CV. It's better than with the CV.
So now we will welcome Humanity and Inclusion, Sodexo, and Bangladesh Business and Disability Network. Thank you. Who wants to start? No?
Each I can start?
Yes. Oh, okay. Humanity and Inclusion.
Okay, good morning, everyone. For those who I didn't meet this morning, my name is Hervé Bernard. I'm the director of the Social Inclusion Division within HI, the Humanity and Inclusion. The former name was Handicap International. I would like to introduce you with one of the innovation we promote with the Work With Toolbox. HI is promoting inclusion and supporting different stakeholders around the world to become more inclusive. We work very closely with corporate and different employers around the world. And one of the barriers that people have among the commitment that we already talked about, the lack of empowerment of people, is a lack of know-how. Once you recruit a person with disability in your corporate, how to make sure that this inclusion will be successful and that people will maintain at work and progress at work. And so we receive a lot of comments and from these employers and potential employers that they lack of skills and know-how how to adapt and how to build a reasonable accommodation for this person with different abilities. So we decided to work on that and to develop a toolbox we call Work With, where we can gather all different kind of experience. And to develop this toolbox, we work with a methodology called human-centered design, meaning that we ask the beneficiary of this toolbox to participate to the creation of the toolbox. So we work mainly with job seeker with disabilities, with corporate, with NGO, who also recruit a lot of person with disabilities in developing countries. It's oriented for low and middle income countries, because that's where HI works a lot. It's focusing 60 countries, so that's already a lot. And we have 10 countries that are really in the core group to participate and raise the maximum of evidence and good practice. We work very closely with Nepal, China, with Kenya, Senegal, Morocco, and Tunisia, and Bolivia. So we try to have different places around the world to also get the benefit of the culture of different cultures and different innovation that exist. And slowly we will build this platform. It should be ready for mid-2019 in order to introduce this tool to the Harking Employment Seminar we will have in Paris in April. I already mentioned that this morning. So hopefully we'll have the participation of lots of GBDN members and platform and National Business Disability Network platform to also enrich this toolbox and make it alive for the future years. Thank you.
It's my turn. Hello, everyone. My name is Alain Masson. I am D&I leader for Sodexo France, and I will present with Marina, who is behind me. We would like to share with you a tool coming from our Disability Task Force, Disability Voice Task Force. But before, 2 words, perhaps 1 word, about this task force. It was created 5 years ago to implement action plans to integrate people with disability in the workforce worldwide. Today, Disability Voice has 40 members, coming from, also, of course, D&I, but also human resources, communication department, and also a lot of operational manager. So I leave the floor to Marina to present this video.
Hello, everyone. As Alain mentioned, we have a task force that promotes the inclusion of people with disabilities in Sodexo. And for the last couple of years, we've been focusing on the notion of invisible disabilities. And for this year's World Mental Health Day, we created a new video to raise awareness among our employees, to open dialogue about mental health in particular, and to trigger dialogue and to make people aware of the issue. And the video clearly shows why looking after mental health is not only a benefit for employees, but also for the business. So I'll let Jürgen put the video.
Mental health conditions are universal. The fact is, we have all experienced firsthand or know someone close to us affected by a mental health condition. According to the World Health Organization, 1 in 4 of us will experience a mental health condition at some point in our life. Mental health conditions are among the leading cause of disability around the world. They are the leading cause of workplace absenteeism, costing the global economy $1 trillion each year. 1 in 6 of the working population will have a mental health condition at any given time. Yet, only 1 in 3 people experiencing a mental health condition will seek help and treatment. As leaders and employees, we must be prepared to talk about it. It's time to open our minds and change our view of mental health. As with our physical health, our mental health is not static. It changes over time on a continuum. But few of us know how to talk about our mental health. Some people are reluctant to seek help because of the stigma or prejudice perceived around mental health conditions. If left untreated, mental health conditions can become chronic, debilitating, and even life-threatening. But we can act now. Awareness of mental health and well-being is more important than ever. Mental health in the workplace benefits everyone. Everyone has a role to play in looking after their own mental health and in creating a mentally healthy environment for others. We must reduce stigma and build an understanding of mental health issues in the workplace. We need to support employees with mental health issues. We should build our skills and confidence in order to approach people we're concerned about. And we must increase awareness of Sodexo's commitment to creating a discrimination-free workplace. At Sodexo, we're committed to breaking through the stigma and providing a safe and inclusive work environment. Let's open our minds to mental health and well-being. Remember, it takes all of us to make a difference.
Thank you. One more time. If you want to take the lead. Yeah.
Sure, thank you. Good morning, my name is Murtaza Khan from the Bangladesh Business and Disability Network, and I would like to talk to you today about our approach to job fairs in Bangladesh. We've held about 4 of these in partnership with the sort of a consortium of partners that include chambers of commerce, disabled people's organizations, NGOs, and disability organizations. And through just these 4 job fairs, we've been able to provide employment to about 300 people with disabilities. So obviously the main objectives being delivering jobs for those who are seeking jobs, raise awareness awareness about inclusive employment, and finally, to showcase our activities to government, because we always try to ensure their participation, whether it's at a chief guest level or people who are actually in implementation of policies. So the impact was, of course, actually getting trained and skilled persons with disabilities matched with jobs that are available for them. And secondly, through our partnership approach, we were able to share a lot of resources, get in extra funding and other sponsorship possibilities from partners who are also looking to do job fairs, therefore having greater efficiency and a wider impact. And finally, by working with chambers of commerce, we were able to create local level ownership for the issue. So these 4 job fairs were held across 3 different cities, in 2 cities for the first time ever. And this was sort of the first time that employers in those cities were really encouraged and to come forward in terms of disability inclusion. And leveraging the chambers of commerce ensures that there's buy-in of the local employers as they have that local clout and influence. This is, of course, linked to GBDN Charter Principle number 8, which is about collaborating with stakeholders to ensure persons with disabilities are getting into employment. Some of the lessons we have learned, firstly, of course, expectations are often raised when job fairs and things like these are announced, especially in communities where it's happening for the first time and employers are learning about it. It's important to manage these expectations, both from the employer side and from the job seeker side. So sort of targeted initiatives are required both before the job fair to ensure that there's a lot of motivating done, a lot of sensitization work that's done, and also post-job fair to ensure that retention and other areas that have found to be challenges are addressed. And finally, we've also found that inclusive employers are the best at sort of promoting the idea of inclusion. So that has really been helpful for us to get our word across and motivate new companies to become inclusive. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more. So, Société Générale, Entertainment Forum Germany, and Site Savers are welcome. Yeah.
These 2 have not arrived yet. They're both stuck with the input.
So
we probably delete those 2 unless they come in the next minutes. But we have Atos. We have Atos. We'll make sure to stay.
Okay. So let's start with diverse abilities.
Here. Let me present myself. I'm Marie Langlade. I'm in charge of social responsibility at work for Société Générale. And I will present you one of our initiatives in the US. We have many initiatives throughout our group. SG leads a strong policy towards diversity focused on gender, seniority, nationality, and disability. The initiative I want to share with you today is linked to the GBN Charter Principle, promote and respect the rights of persons and disabilities by raising awareness and combating stigma and stereotypes faced by persons with disabilities is held in the United States. Our entities in the US have launched a diversity and inclusion program with an employee resource group called Diverse Abilities. The objective of the program is not only to advance awareness and inclusion for people with disabilities and for caregivers, but it is also to promote Société Générale disability initiative within the financial industry. The group organized various events, and I will give some examples to you. In July 2018, Diverse Abilities brought together more than 40 employees in the Chicago office who volunteered at the Special Olympics Unified Cup, which gather top athletes with or without intellectual disabilities for soccer tournament. Representative of diverse abilities attended the 24th annual New York City Buddy Walk last September, sponsored by the National Down Syndrome Society. The walk honors and celebrates individuals with Down syndrome and raises awareness and funds benefiting people with Down syndrome. Initiatives within the company are also held by diverse abilities. For example, the groups regularly holds lunch and learn focused on driving inclusion, identifying inclusive behaviors, and developing an inclusive mindset.
Thank you. Let's go on with the entertainment from
Unternehmensforum. Hard German word. Hello once again from my side. I'm Reinhard Wagner. I'm member of the board of Unternehmensforum in Germany. I would like to tell you some small facts about our German Industry Inclusion Prize as our initiative. Every year this prize, which was offered by Unternehmensforum for the first time in 2012, recognizes exemplary commitment to the training and employment of people with disabilities. It is awarded jointly by the Confederation of German Employers Association, the Federal Employment Agency of Germany, and is under the patronage of the Federal Ministry of Labor and Social Affairs. Over 80 companies had applied for the prize in the last year. 5 of them received this coveted award. The winners of the Inclusion Prize demonstrate that inclusion can be successful regardless of the size of the company. When employers give their employees, with or without a disability, the opportunity to contribute their particular skills, then everyone profits. This was a positive conclusion of the initiators. Many of the inclusion practices and solutions that the members have developed are also available to the general public via our website in the form of best practice case studies. Thank you very much.
Good morning. My name is Tracy Vaughan-Goff. I'm the Senior Global Technical Lead for Sightsavers. Sightsavers is a UK-based international NGO working on health and disability rights programs. I'm not going to tell you about our programs. I'm going to tell you about an internal initiative around diversity and inclusion. It's very simple, inexpensive, yet I think it's impactful and dynamic. So the programme is an initiative of our cross-departmental social inclusion working group that was set up 2.5 years ago to progress our internal disability inclusion agenda. The group has had a number of successes. We've rolled out mandatory disability awareness training and made huge advances on our own digital accessibility. However, in a recent staff poll, the most visible and important activity of the group is the Lunchtime Speakers Programme. And this is what I'll highlight. So a 2014 study by Scope, which is a British disability charity, found that 67% of the British public were uncomfortable talking to people with disabilities, and 85% felt people with disabilities were treated with prejudice. So the Speakers Programme, therefore, was started in order to challenge these assumptions, challenge prejudice through educating and informing all of our staff, and all of which we hoped would create a conducive and welcoming place in Sightsavers for people with disabilities. So underpinning our programme is contact theory, which I'm sure all of you know, states that interpersonal contact is one of the most effective ways to reduce prejudice. So our speakers are varied, people with disabilities who are advocating, challenging, talking about their experiences. We also invite company representatives to share their learnings, accessibility gurus demonstrating innovation, and we've also brought in speakers on hidden disabilities and mental health. So what's the impact? Well, we've had very good attendance physically and also virtually. And we've also had anecdotal evidence demonstrating how staff and teams have taken forward what they've heard. So in terms of our learning, we know that there's an appetite within our staff to learn, but we need to keep sourcing a range of talented and interesting speakers who can meet their learning needs, which will be very diverse depending on their experiences. So if you feel you've got something to share, come to Sightsavers in Haywards Heath and come and talk to our staff. We'd be really happy to welcome you. Thank you.
I think, well, the last three person, Atos, a company, Atos. Then we have Leon. We don't know if they are there. Leonard Schichar, no, and Foro Incerta Responsible Spain. Maybe they are not arrived yet. So Atos, the floor is yours, just for you.
Tutor. Okay. Brilliant. So yeah, I'm just going to talk until you collapse. So for me, the primary achievement of this year was to gain acceptance and sign-off for our global accessibility policy, which is an overarching policy which covers both internal and external features within the company. It's both addressing IT, products, services, solutions, and is transversal across all of our divisions, across all of our countries. We're in some 70-odd countries. We have 120,000 employees. So this is a significant program and a significant commitment on behalf of the organization. And it's being run from the center of our organization. So it's run in our Chief Digital Office under the sponsorship of our Chief Digital Officer, who reports directly to our Chairman and CEO. So it's at the right level within the organization. What impact does this have? Well, it's impacting our employee offering. So we are committed to the digital transformation program within our organization right now, and that transformation program needs to be an inclusive one. So we're making sure that as we transform our own IT, that we're doing so in an inclusive manner, that we're including a catalogue of assistive technologies, and we're testing and retesting, and we're including people as part of that process. It also has to be part of our customer offerings, and so we're looking at our portfolio, looking at what we can offer in terms of products and services that are inclusive, and going through our supply chain, because procurement's a really important part of ensuring, as a systems integrator, that what we deliver is, again, inclusive. And of course, it addresses our reputation and is part of our strategic positioning as an organization. So which principle are we addressing? Well, it's obviously Charter Point 2, which is develop policies and processes and practices. So what did I learn from this? Well, actually, scheduling is an issue. When you want to get the ExCom, or ComEx in French, to be part of this, actually, it's very difficult to synchronize diaries. So actually, it took a long time, despite the great willingness and interest of our senior leaders within the organization, to make this happen. My advice to anyone following this path is work asynchronously. Get sign-off offline, and make sure that you go and meet with each one individually and then just collect the signatures and present them. And finally, budgets don't always appear at the same time as the work does. So sometimes we have to put in the work and wait for the budgets to appear. So don't wait, and always, always apologize for doing something rather than wait and ask for permission. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. We had a very rich and inspirational presentation. Before the end of this session, we want to have a small presentation, a short presentation from the ILO colleague on the Equal Pay International Coalition. So please, I think Emmanuel. Okay, you can come. And
maybe before Emanuela comes up, just to say a few words about the Equal Pay International Coalition. And if you've caught those initials, the acronym is EPIC, so it's a fantastic name. And this afternoon, we'll be talking about a number of global initiatives that very much reinforce the work of the Global Business and Disability Network. And I think EPIC is one such initiative that the ILO leads with UN Women and OECD, very much a multi-stakeholder initiative to promote equal pay for work of equal value. One of the things that a number of us talked about yesterday when we were meeting on the network meeting today was about how we're not in one box. We're not people with one identity. We have many identities. And I think the Equal Pay International Coalition is important in terms of recognizing that gender is one aspect of all our identities, and bringing those identities together, including with disability, is extremely important. One of the key ways that we value the work that people do, so we want to be inclusive, we want to value people, is about how much we pay them. So we talk about money talks and put your money where your mouth is and all those great expressions. And EPIC is about making that real. So I'll pass the floor to Emanuela to tell us a little bit more about the initiative. Thank you.
Good morning to all of you, and many thanks to colleagues for allowing this very short session. My name is Emanuela Pozan, and I'm part of the Gender Equality and Diversity team, which is really a team that is very much committed towards inclusion in the world of work. I look mainly after gender equality, but in my previous life, I've actually worked on disability, and I was part of the team that initially came up with the idea of the ILO Global Business and Disability Network. At that time, I was in Asia. So I really much want to congratulate you all, because I know that over time, this business network has grown and has become very inspirational also to other networks and to other initiatives. And as Shona has just mentioned, EPIC is a relatively new initiative of the ILO. It was launched last year. And we really much look at your model, the Global Disability Network, to see what we can learn and how we can grow. And as Shona mentioned, there are very important correlations between disability, gender, and overall inclusion. So we thought of just quickly showing a video that summarizes what otherwise I would have briefly explained. I've realized that the video perhaps is not very accessible, so first lesson learned out of this meeting this morning. But nevertheless, I hope that the interpreters can help. Jürgen.
Gender pay gaps stubbornly persist. At present, across the world, women earn around 20% less than men on average per month.
One of the most effective ways to reduce the gender pay gap is to promote equal pay for work of equal value, as provided for under the Sustainable Development Goals, specifically 5 and 8.5 of the 2030 Agenda.
Reducing the gender pay gap is not impossible.
All over the world, countries, companies, and workers are pioneering new and innovative solutions.
Legislation providing the right to equal pay for work of equal value.
Requiring companies to publish their gender pay gap data publicly.
There are free online pay calculators and other tools which determine the portion of discrimination of the gender pay gap.
Companies that apply equal pay can be certified.
Minimum wage policies and collective bargaining agreements that include equal pay clauses.
What is clear is that no one-size solution can fit all, and that no single actor can solve the challenge of equal pay alone.
The Equal Pay International Coalition, EPIC, is a collective effort to accelerate progress in closing the gender pay gap by 2030.
governments, companies, civil society, academia, employers, and workers' organizations can join and contribute to making a change.
EPIC provides a platform for peer-to-peer exchanges, knowledge sharing of data and tools. It encourages countries to adopt progressive policies towards gender equality, thus reducing the pay gap.
Bring your expertise, knowledge, commitment, and make a change towards societies that value women and men's work equally.
Learn more about EPIC and sign up to be part of the solution.
Yeah, so we encourage you to take a moment to look at the website, which is www.equalpayinternationalcoalition.org. And in this website, you will find everything that we're currently doing, which is very much about raising awareness on the pay gap, on the gender wage gap, making sure that governments, employers, workers, civil society take action around this. Last month in New York, during the General Assembly, we had a big event. And a number of companies, international global companies, have pledged to do more in reducing the gender wage gap. I don't know if some of the companies that were in New York are also present here, but just to give you an idea, Deloitte, Dermalogica, IKEA, Nestlé, Novartis, PepsiCo, Randstad, Rail Group, and others are very much interested in pushing forward. They have made public pledges, which are also available on the website. From my side, I can be available later on after this session. We have brochures and we have Twitter accounts, we have Facebook accounts, etc. And we really welcome you to explore if within your companies, I'm sure that some work is already ongoing within your companies. Just I came in late, but I heard few initiatives under the social corporate responsibilities initiatives that we have, that you have. So. Hopefully we can join forces towards real inclusion of everybody and the reduction of the gender wage gap. Thank you for the opportunity.
Stefan. I think Stefan, you want to add some more.
Well, some logistics. The last logistic will be to tell you how to get to lunch. So you have to bear with me with the previous logistics, because the last one is the most important one, if you want to have lunch. But first to say, well done. I mean, we've really managed to get both sessions over in the time, even 10 minutes ahead. Now I will spoil probably some of those minutes. But thank you, Anne-Sophie, for chairing it and showing that, because really it was a challenge to get those sessions to. Thank you for keeping to the time so disciplined and making the presentations also very punchy and useful. I would also like to thank our interpreters here in the meeting room, because they had agreed even to do a few more extra minutes than the initiatives that they're supposed to do. And you might be aware that one of the interpreters, our colleague Bo from Denmark, he is himself a deaf person. So he has with him, accompanying him is a Danish sign language interpreter. She listens the English version, puts that into Danish sign language, and then Bo translates that into international sign. It's not something you might very often come across, and we are very proud to do that already for the second time. Last year we didn't really explain it. This year I'm taking the opportunity to explain that very well. Both Brigitte and Bo are excellent interpreters, but having a deaf interpreter with us is, I think, something that I wanted to highlight especially. Thank you for those of you who have already sent us some idea for the with the Slido app. But there's still time in the afternoon. You have a short explanation in the folder how to do that. As I mentioned in the morning, we're looking forward to suggestions from your side on topics that you would like us to go more in depth next year. And I think now after this session with 20 different ideas, I'm sure you have more ideas in terms of in which areas you would like to have the GBDN sort of go more in depth. You were also kindly asked to rate those 20 presentations. If you have done so, if not, don't worry, but if you have done so, we are going to put a box next to the door so that when you go out, you can just put your rating in that box. And now the most important thing, lunch. Okay, remember, we are on the level R3 of the ILO building. You have to go one level down, and then you have to cross the colonnade of our building. We will have some of us guiding you the way over. Basically, you have to cross the building to the other side, and there you will come across our restaurant, and with some glass doors, and go into the restaurant, and at the end of that restaurant, there's a space reserved. It's a standing lunch. It's a networking meeting, so it's a networking lunch. We have a variety of things, but not a huge variety. We are doing budget-wise. And we don't, for those of you who have asked for gluten-free, I really apologize. We didn't get that sorted out this time. We try to do it better next time. Yeah? So enjoy the lunch, and please be back here in the room at 1:30 sharp so that we can go on with the afternoon session. Thanks a lot again.
Thank you.
Before you leave, one of the presenters.